is always to have the official screen on the board. Yeah, always.
Okay.
We can have the analysis one separate, but then always must have that. Unfortunately, we're too late.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we talk? I think.
No, he said, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yes."
Okay.
We have no move yet. It didn't come. We have no.
Oh, it's that. Hello everyone, welcome to watch 2020 FIDE Women's World Chess Championship match. I'm Zhang Xiaowen.
And I'm Nigel Short. I'd like to, first of all, apologize for yesterday, that I understand we had some quite severe technical problems, and I hope that this time things will be a bit better.
Yeah.
And by the third round, definitely we will have it sorted out. So it should be a bit better today, and we've had some technical people coming in. So, okay, we've got a few moves already.
Yeah, and first move is e4.
Yeah. Okay, finally we're sorted out.
Okay.
And so we have a Spanish opening. Let's
Yeah.
continue with this.
e5. And as we know, Zhu always play d4.
It's a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so it's a little surprise. Yes, d4 is her main opening.
Yeah.
So here she's come very well prepared and clearly expanding her repertoire, her different ideas.
Yes.
So this
and
is.
Maybe e4 is more ambitious.
I don't know whether it's more ambitious. I considered. I always make jokes about this. I always say that d4 is a better move because when you play d4, your pawn is protected.
Okay. So let's continue.
Yes, please. Let's continue.
e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop b5.
Yeah. So we have knight f6, and this is the Berlin.
Yes.
The Berlin defense, which of course is very, very popular these days at the highest level.
Yeah.
So
can you tell us some history about this opening?
I can tell you about it. I mean, actually, players like Tarrasch were playing the Berlin in the 19th century. So it's it's a very, very old opening.
Yes.
And guys like Tarrasch were playing it with good ideas, actually good understanding, very excellent understanding. But it didn't really become popular until 2000. When, of course, Vladimir Kramnik used it to defeat Garry Kasparov in the famous match in London.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, I was even there. I was even present at some of the games and commentating actually on some of the games. So let's continue. So it's gone in a different.
Here played castle.
Yeah, that's the normal move. There are different moves. Knight takes e4. So this is absolutely the main line.
Yes.
And rook e1 tends to be less popular than d4.
Yeah.
So,
But d4 maybe will exchange the queen.
then we have the famous Berlin endgame
Yes.
after this. So,
Should we show it?
we can show it very briefly. Yes,
Okay.
very, very briefly. The main line,
Yes.
for those who don't know,
D4.
is d4, knight d6.
Capture knight.
Yeah,
Capture and e
takes knight f5.
and exchange the
The
queen.
queens, and we get this famous Berlin endgame, which has proven to be very, very resilient, very difficult to beat.
Yes.
So it's become extremely popular. Many top players have included this opening in their repertoire. Do you play
Yeah.
it yourself?
No, I don't like this.
You don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Zhu Wenjun has gone in a different direction
Yes.
with rook e1,
Yeah, rook e1.
knight d6, and knight takes e5.
Yes. And here, the gorgeous queen now leave her seat, but the clock show it's black's move, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, she bring a bottle of water.
So, yeah. There are some rules on these things which are a little bit grey, actually, because you're not supposed to leave the table when it's your move. But on the other hand, if you make your move and then go
It's okay.
for some water or maybe to go to the bathroom or something, and let's say you make 2 steps in one direction and then your opponent moves, can you continue or do you have to sit down? It's not clear actually what the
So
rule says.
it's 2 moves. 2 moves, not 1 move.
So
Yeah, she make his move.
her move.
Oh yeah, her move.
So we seem to have a problem.
So I guess she played bishop e7.
Yeah, we seem to have a little bit of a problem from the live feed. It seems to have
Maybe
stopped actually.
Later.
Yeah, maybe there is some lag on this, which has been one of the big problems. Yesterday, we're hoping to have this up and running properly on YouTube, which I think is banned in China, isn't it? Isn't it banned? Almost everything is banned in China. Anything you want to watch, anything good is banned, unfortunately. So that's. But we've got the FIDE YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll have this up. So what has been played? Can you see from the?
I guess it's bishop e7, and then maybe knight f3.
No, it can't be because the knight is the bishop is hanging.
Really? Maybe it's.
I can't see what's been played.
Maybe it's knight e5, rook e5, like that. So here, what is the main line?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. Let me see. What is the? This, I mean, bishop e7 is a pretty usual move here, and it will normally be a question of where this bishop is often going back to f1. Well, I think it's gone back to f1 actually.
Oh, yes. So maybe it's bishop e7 and the bishop f1?
Is that it?
I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So bishop e7 is the
Main line.
the main line. Knight e5 has been played as well, but bishop e7 is the main line because you're not in a hurry to take this. And then I think bishop f1
Yeah, bishop f1.
has been played, if I can see that correctly. We will try and get this sorted out. Unfortunately, absolutely all of our technicians have deserted us. We normally have various people seated to our left who we could speak to and get these things sorted out, but I don't know whether they've gone for some food break or a wine break or something. I don't know what they've done.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got this issue, and maybe they're sorting out the feed, the live feed, which is a real problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, maybe I will go and talk to them, and you'll excuse.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, great. Our technicians disappeared, and the moment they came back, of course, everything
Yes.
is
Bishop.
fine. So, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we had absolutely no idea what was going on there. So, yeah.
Bishop e7 and bishop f1.
One. Yeah.
Right.
So knight takes e5.
Yes.
Rook takes e5. Castles. Yeah. d4.
d4.
And bishop
f6.
f6. Rook e2. And if I'm not mistaken, this was played. The first, well, who has it been played by? It's been played by some quite serious players. It's been played by Magnus Carlsen, for one.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's also...
Which year?
That's 2016.
Oh, yes.
And there is some point to the rook being there, because actually it's to do with when it is exchanged.
Yes.
That very often black puts the rook on e8.
Yes.
And so if you go rook e1, it actually sometimes the rook is better there, because when it gets exchanged, you're developing your pieces.
Oh, so I know it's if we played rook e1 and then maybe black will play like rook e8 to exchange the rook, and if she take the rook, white will play queen e1.
Yeah, it's not absolutely ideal. But this is a different way of playing. So this is actually quite a subtle move, rook e2.
So rook on e2, then
it looks very strange, actually.
Yes, yes.
It looks very strange. It's a very...
So what's the difference?
Well, the difference is you allow the rook to be taken. You see.
Okay, I know. Now I get it.
Yeah, you allow the rook to be taken. I think that is the main idea.
Yes.
So, for example, if rook e8,
yes,
you can play a move like, for instance, you can play c3. C3 has been played. That was played by Aronian.
Yes.
And after rook takes e2, you can play queen takes e2. It's just on a slightly better square.
So can develop my pieces.
A little bit better. That's all. It's a very small difference, actually.
Yes.
This is the I think the idea.
Okay.
It's very, very subtle. But actually, it's a curious choice now after the move, rook e2, knight c4.
Knight c4.
And this has also been played by some very, very serious players. It's been played by, in fact, all the games are from this year, 2019, and this is Nepomniachtchi against Grischuk, Fedorseev against Kramnik, and Anand against Karyakin. So these are all heavyweights.
Yes.
And this is, I think, is like one of the points. Well, actually, you can play knight c4 here because the rook is no longer. Sorry, the bishop is no longer covering the c4 square.
Yes.
And black's, of course, his main idea is to
d5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the knight go there. Yes. Where? Why go to c4? Not go to
f5? I have absolutely no idea. The subtleties of this opening are beyond me.
Yeah.
They are.
Because if you play knight f5, then you can attack the d4 pawn, and maybe it's a forcing move like that.
Yeah. I think maybe one of the issues, you can play d5 against that, actually.
Yeah, so if I play knight f5, maybe white will play d5.
Yeah, let me just check this, because I'm blundering a bit. I actually don't play this line at all, as you can tell, because I don't know what I'm talking about. I think that d5 is actually one of the one of the moves here.
Maybe d5.
And you take a little bit of space. It is the main move, actually. It's played by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, MVL. So yeah, that was first played in a game against Wang Hao.
Oh, Wang Hao, another.
You know him.
Of course.
You've heard of him. Good,
Yeah,
good, good.
It's a Chinese chess player.
Yeah. So who has been in good form recently? So yeah, I think this is one of the ideas that the rook on e2. It looks very strange, but it's actually better for when it is exchanged.
So maybe if here play d5, after d5, maybe black play d6, and if the the knight on f5 is maybe a little bit
well, I think the main point is that white has slightly more space.
more space.
Yeah, so you play a move like c3 now.
So playing knight c3, then maybe here, yes.
Yeah, you can play. No, he can't play d5 because of knight takes b2.
It's a pinging.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the whole point, that the main idea is after knight f5 you play d5.
Yeah, to stop white to play d5.
You seize the space, and this way you stop d5. So he goes b3. That's what happened in the game.
Yes.
We're getting there. We're understanding it.
Yes.
So, sorry we're such patsers here, but I'm not very familiar with the intricacies of these this line.
Yeah, but
we're figuring it out bit
Yes.
by bit. So we're blundering our way through, trying to understand. So b3, knight b6. So the knight gets out of the way. It's not particularly well placed on b6. It must be added.
Yes.
But at least now, black is ready to play d5.
D5,
Yeah,
yes.
and then get the bishop out and then complete his development.
Yeah, maybe d5, c6, and then return the knight back.
Yeah. So, so after this, knight c4, b3,
Yes.
knight b6, what do we have? Yes, c3 was actually played in just
c3.
in just this one game of Fedoseev against Kramnik, and he lost actually. Fedoseev lost. It's all very mysterious to me because I don't think. I mean, c3. Okay, what's the idea? You protect your d pawn. You block on that diagonal, and after d5. Now, if we can just analyze this a little bit, I think a move like bishop f4 should be quite normal, like wouldn't you say?
Okay. And maybe I will.
He played rook e1, which was a very, very strange move to me.
Rook e1?
Yeah, instead of bishop f4, he played rook e1. Very strange move.
Yes, maybe it's waste of time.
I think so. Yeah, I would never do such a move like that.
So
I mean, if you put your rook on e2, you try and justify putting your rook on e2. Otherwise, what's the point?
yes.
To play rook e2 and then rook e1 when it's not clear. I would play a move like bishop f4.
Yeah.
And if bishop g4, maybe he was worried about bishop g4. I don't think that's a big deal. Yeah.
This move.
Yeah, not bishop g5, bishop g4. I think he's perhaps concerned about.
This move.
f3.
F3.
Yeah, bishop f5, and then something like knight a3, maybe something like that. What do you think?
Oh, there?
Yeah, why not?
For what?
I'm coming to c2 to e3.
Here?
Yeah, why not?
And maybe the two bishop here have some trouble.
Yeah, I want knight c2, I want knight e3, and then I want to play queen d2, and then I want to double my rooks on the e file. So could be a little bit better for white. It's not the most exciting position, but could be preferable. That would be how I would play it. I'm very glad to say I haven't switched on the engine today, so this is let's have some human commentary for the moment.
I think maybe bishop g4 is not good.
Well,
because
maybe not.
f3 is useful. This move is useful.
Maybe it's useful. Yes.
To protect the e4 square.
Yep. Yep.
So
sometimes I mean sometimes you can argue it's a weakness. Sometimes it's a strength, and I don't think it harms white to have the pawn on f3.
Yes. So maybe if I play, I will just play maybe bishop f5.
Yeah. And I would play. I would probably play knight a3 anyway.
Okay, not knight d2.
No, I
knight
want
f3.
yeah, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd go knight a3.
Okay. And maybe I just improve my queen and want to play rook e8.
Yeah, okay, so knight c2 for white.
Yes, I feel that.
Because your knight on b6 is not that great.
Yes.
I'm going to go rook e1. Maybe I'll play g3 at some point.
Yes.
Maybe I'll go h3 and knight g4. I've got different ideas, but it looks a little bit easier for white. I mean, I wouldn't be very excited
And
if I got
have,
this, but you know, I just
I-
feel a little more comfortable for white.
yes, and I have no idea what should black to play.
Well, that is a question. Yes, because the black pieces are developed, but they're not all. Not all the pieces are are not very effective, at least not at the moment. Yeah, that's just my general impression. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but those are perhaps rook e4 could be a good move anyway here for black. But okay, these are ideas. Instead, let's go back to the position. She has gone.
She played c6.
C6, yeah, which is a very odd move, actually.
Right.
Well, maybe not that odd.
But I think d5 is must to play, and
Sooner or later, she must go d5. So I think
c6 is not the necessary.
maybe she wants 5.
Oh, yes.
So I'm trying to. I'm not giving the best. I'm trying to illustrate the ideas.
Yeah.
So maybe this is her idea to keep some flexibility on the position, that perhaps she will use this.
So here, c6. And here's a question: if for example, if white play bishop f6 and I play d6, maybe later can I play like bishop g5 to exchange the bishop?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible, yeah, because the bishop on f6 is not particularly well placed. But actually, I think you want to use the tactical possibilities of knight d5. I don't think she'll play bishop f4 exactly for this reason, by the way, that that knight d5 is still an option.
Yes. So maybe black have some plan about bishop g5 to exchange the poor bishop.
Yeah, yeah.
So here, Drew is just starts thinking.
Yeah, so maybe this is the moment when knight d2 could be played. You know, this.
Knight d2.
Yeah. So knight d2 at least threatens. I mean, threatens is an exaggeration. White intends to play knight e4.
Yes, and maybe black
So
will play d5.
black will play d5.
Yeah.
So then black is committed to playing d5.
So the c6
so and here you can think about maybe not knight f3 because of bishop g4.
yes.
So if you don't do knight f3, you could perhaps play bishop a3.
Bishop a3.
Yeah. So rook e8, and now knight f3. Now you can develop your pieces like this.
Okay, so I played bishop g4.
Bishop g4 anyway, and here maybe h3.
h3. Okay. So I cannot take the knight because you have rook e8 first.
Well, you can take the knight, and it's not such a big deal. You probably can take the knight and then play. Yeah, it's not. It's not.
But if exchange, then you have bishop pair.
Yeah, but it's probably not worth that much because at some moment black will try and put the bishop on e7 and try to exchange. So, okay, so let's try and think what else.
Here?
So we could be a little more clever in our way of playing. So if we go so we go knight d2 first.
Knight d2.
d5, for example.
Yes.
Bishop a3.
Bishop A3,
rook E8. Now, if we take on E8, rook takes E8,
yes,
queen takes A, bishop D3.
Bishop D3.
Because then we are playing against the black bishop on C8.
Yes.
Because that no longer has a very obvious square to go to. It can go to E6, but we have improved the position of our bishop after that.
Okay.
And so, for example, if let's just continue. We're just trying a few things. Let's say bishop E6. Not bishop E7 because of queen E. Oh, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do that.
Queen.
I was
E2?
going to play queen E2.
I can play
Bishop E6. Yeah. And then I can exchange and rook E1. You're talking about tiny, tiny, tiny advantages. I mean, nothing very exciting.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a little bit better for white, but you know, no, it's the position is quite symmetrical. That the pawn structure is symmetrical. It's 4 and 4
Yes.
on one side and 3 and 3 on the other side. So there is no imbalance in the pawn structure.
Yes. But how can black improve her bishop?
Yeah, I mean, she'll probably have to play bishop e6 sooner or later. And then I was thinking queen c2 and rook e1, and you know maybe a little bit better for white.
Yes.
And so, for example, if bishop e7 now, let's have a look at. Let me look again.
Bishop e7?
Yeah, maybe I take that.
Take and take.
Play queen h5.
Oh. And
Just be careful. I'm going to give you checkmate here. That's
okay.
I suspect you may have seen that.
Yes. So I'd better play h6 or g6? h6.
Okay, h6, and now knight f3.
And then you will
And
play
now it's
rook e1.
now it's starting to become a little bit menacing. You know, your pieces are not. Yeah, I've got better development. My rook is
Yes.
coming to the e file. I've got,
And
you know,
maybe-
maybe sometimes I can even play rook e1 and then even g4, g5 sometimes. You
Whoa.
know, so I
Or maybe rook e1, rook e3, knight e5,
Five,
and
all sorts of
and
things.
So
So-
on, yeah.
So we're trying to find some little ideas for white.
Yes. So here white maybe have more intimate, right? Sorry.
Initiative.
Oh, initiative.
Has an initiative, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. White does have an initiative. I wouldn't describe it as an attack, but certainly white has some initiative. The pieces are well developed, and an attack can come quickly, actually.
Yes. So here maybe. So maybe c6 is not good.
Well, maybe it's possible. It's a little bit imprecise. You know, it's not. I would not say this is a mistake because c6 is. It's a useful move in a way, but is it the best move? Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, that is the point. That maybe black should have just played in a direct way with d5. It
Yeah.
could be. How are the times and the position? No, not much difference.
Yes, but this move can maybe it's useful because Julius starts thinking, and it maybe it's to skip her preparation.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it certainly got her out of her preparation.
Yeah.
I can only think that she intended to play bishop f4 after d5.
Really?
Yeah, I think if black played d5, she would have played bishop f4, because now I think bishop f4 is not so good, and now she has to go in a different way. You know,
okay.
and so that's what I think is the case, that
yeah.
she cannot play the same plan against c6 or against d5, because there is a difference between these two.
So she should make decision, and
exactly.
and she starts thinking.
Exactly.
Now I can understand.
Yeah.
So c6 is useful move.
Well, it's semi-useful. Yes, it's normally you prefer your pawn on c6 than on c7, but you know, I'm very old-fashioned. I'm a very, very old-fashioned player, because when I first started playing chess, I studied the great players like Paul Morphy, the great American player of the 19th century. And Paul Morphy was, I think he was the great master of the initiative. He didn't waste time at all. You know, all his moves were very direct, very purposeful. He would play in a very economical way, not wasting time.
Yes.
So these sort of little subtle moves, c6, no, it's not really Morphy. Morphy would develop his pieces. He'd say, my bishop, he would be looking at this position and saying, my bishop on c8 is not developed, I must develop it.
Yeah, so
you know, and therefore I must play d6 or d5, you know.
Yeah.
You know, this is...
it's very direct.
Yeah, exactly. Very direct. And I think I sort of grew up thinking like this, being influenced by such players. So these sort of little moves here, these sort of clever little c6, I mean, maybe these came later, but here I would feel, no, I want to develop my bishop, you know, because if I can't develop my bishop on c8, but normal pieces,
And
they say, you know, pawn is 1, knight is 3, and the bishop is a fan of the bishops.
yes, he liked the bishop pair.
Yeah, he liked the bishop, but he even liked single bishops. Sometimes he was winning some very nice end games with one bishop against a knight. You know, and so he was one of the great experts. With his handling of the bishop, he was knew the possibilities. But we heard Magnus Carlsen recently. Magnus Carlsen said something very interesting about Vishy Anand. He said, "Well, is there anything about Vishy's game that you would like to have?" And he said something like, the way he handles his knights.
Oh,
you know, yeah, Vishy is very good with the knights.
He preferred the knight.
Well, he just he was admiring how skillful Anand was at manoeuvring his knights around. You know,
yeah. And I know some teenager chess player. He told me he liked bishop. I asked him why. He said because he liked Bobby Fischer.
Ah, okay, okay.
He's
Yeah,
a big
well,
fan.
it's very good to like Bobby Fischer as a chess player. Perhaps not so much as a human being, but as a chess player, he was outstanding.
Yes.
So we've got some long pause. I mean, actually, I think both sides are trying to find their plans. I think they're both on their own here. It looks like they're out of their theory,
Yes.
and we have a fight on our hands. I'm very glad we had one little. I was in the hall earlier, and there was one little issue with the board, and they sorted it out. There was too much light. Did you see that at the start of the game?
Yes.
Before the match started, we had a lighting technician came, and the players came and they sat down, and we got the light absolutely perfect.
Yes.
And then somehow the light has been changed from yesterday to today, and it was too bright. So I had to fix the light before the
you
game.
think on chessboard the light is too...
Yeah, it was too bright. You really
bright.
needed sunglasses.
Really?
It was so bright. Yeah.
But I heard something as that they are test the light before they
But I was
start
saying
the tournament.
they did, but then somebody changed it. I don't know why. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've no idea why you would want to change it once you've already tested it. You know.
Yes, they are already tested.
So
they
they shouldn't touch it. You know, once it's clear the light is good, then you don't touch it. You know, and then.
Yes.
It's like there are all these little things, you know. I mean, that the players, they each have their chairs, and in fact they've got their names, or they should have the names on the back of on the chairs.
Yes.
And that each player has their chair adjusted to how they are feeling. How are they comfortable? A little bit higher, maybe with a bit more flexibility, forward, backward, a little bit more movement. Each player has, you know, the chair
Yes.
Exactly to their requirements. But then you shouldn't change it. You know, nobody else should sit down and change the measurements. It should be exactly like
yes,
that.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So D5 has happened as expected.
Yes. I think black should play D5.
Yeah, like Paul Morphy. You develop your pieces. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't like the move of C6.
Yeah.
By the way.
So tell me something. I'm very interested about this because I've been talking to some of the Chinese players, some of your leading players, and I was asking them about chess books.
Oh, chess books.
Do you have any chess books?
Yes, I have a lot of chess books.
How many chess books do you consider to be a lot? I'm just very curious about this.
A lot of it. Some chess board is like puzzle book.
Okay, yeah.
I remember the name is Nan.
Oh, right, John Nunn.
Yeah, John Nunn.
Yeah,
and
excellent. John Nunn writes very, very good books. So how many books do you have in total, roughly, approximately? Do you know?
I don't know the number, but I have a lot of it, and it's maybe not 100. It's too much. Maybe it's 100.
Maybe it's 100. Okay, so that's actually, you're probably doing better. Because I spoke to Ni Hua, who, of course, is the second of Zhu Wenjun, the coach for this match. And so when we were in Shenzhen last year. I asked him, how many books? He said, I've got a lot. And I said, how many? He said, 70.
70.
And that didn't seem like a lot of books to me. And then I think that Wei Yi has not. He has about 7, I think. So I think the young generation, they they don't read chess books. Everything is with the computer these days.
In the past, I have the chess informate.
Right. So good. Oh, that's really ancient history. Yeah.
And maybe just the chess image and yearbook.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But now we have computer, so...
Yeah, so you don't read so much.
Yes, I don't read that so much, but I will read some book of like positional or strategy.
Okay.
So someone like that.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Oh, you played h3.
Yeah, I think that's a very odd move.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that move at all.
I think this move is just yeah,
but bishop f5, it doesn't do anything to stop bishop f5.
But
I think this is just.
You think this move is too slowly?
It's too slow. It's much too slow.
It's too slow. Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
She wants to play knight f3, and she wants to stop bishop f4.
Yeah. But it's too slow because the bishop is just coming to f5 anyway.
So maybe.
So in fact, if we just go back, bishop f5 is just a simple and good move.
Yes.
So I'm not sure what white is doing. I think we had to play against that bishop on c8. So if we just go back, I think bishop a3 was
better.
I think it was a good move.
Yes.
Yeah. And I liked that variation, rook e8, and then just to take, and then bishop d3, something like that. Because, as I say, you play against the bishop, because now you've taken the active squares.
Yes.
Those 2 active squares, they have been removed. Mm-hmm. And you've also brought your bishop, which, as you see, she's played bishop f5, the most natural move. It's a good move. It's a very, very natural move.
Yes. So black invert her bishop.
Yeah, she's developed it, and it's also not clear to me what is white's next move. So it looks a bit.
Maybe knight f3.
Yeah, but then rook e8. Then rook e8. I think.
So it seems equal.
Yeah, well, I even prefer to have black here. I really do.
Oh, you like black more?
Yeah, well, look, I'm not saying black has got a great position, but I think I would prefer to have black. I think h3 is just too slow.
Okay.
You've allowed black to put a bishop on a very, very natural square.
Yes.
The most natural one. And also sometimes, by the way, that bishop can come into e4.
Here.
Yes, at some moment that could be annoying. I'm not saying.
Yeah. So in here, the bishop in f1 is not good.
The bishop on f1 is not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's too slow. What she's done is too modest, too slow.
So maybe she is too carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yes. Maybe. That's right. That it's her play is too cautious, not dynamic enough. She has to be more energetic, and vigorous in the way that she is playing. But now this starts to look easy. So knight f3 has been played.
Yes.
And even here, bishop e4 is a possibility.
Okay. And oh, what should I do? I just need to move away my rook.
Well, maybe you can play. Can you play knight e5 or something? I don't know.
Knight e5.
But knight e5, maybe knight d7 there. And I start to simplify, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe not bishop e4, but it's one possibility. But it's in the air. I think I would probably play rook e8, you know, or...
Rook e8.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
Here, not bishop e4, rook e8 is also...
maybe, or yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Rook e8.
Yeah, rook e8. Another choice.
Maybe too simple, but it's possible. It's possible. But I didn't like this. I didn't like this this move. This h3, too slow.
Too slow.
Yeah, to my taste. Maybe you can tell us something about what are the ratings of the players? What are the expectations there?
The rating...
ELO ratings, yeah.
Yes, their rating is very closed.
Yeah.
And they are both 2,500 and maybe Drew is 2,587 or
something like that,
86
86 or something. I think it's actually slightly lower on the latest list, and Goryachkina is something like 2578 or something like that. So it's almost nothing between.
Yes, they're very close.
Yeah, and do not forget that Professor Arpad Elo, who was the inventor of the ELO system, he said that a difference of 20 rating points is statistically insignificant. So you can discount it. And they are not even 10 points between them. So actually, you can say that these are players of equal strength, you know, that's... And that's why I'm expecting a very good match, a very hard-fought match. Okay, I think we will take our break. This might be a good moment for the break. I believe we left the microphones on during the break yesterday. We're not going to do that today because our technicians are going to switch off the microphones, and we will be back with you in a few moments in a few minutes, and the position is what, approximately equal?
Yes,
at the moment.
I think so.
But lots and lots of pieces on the board, and as we saw from Goryachkina yesterday, that she is ready to fight.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ju Wenjun is also ready to fight. I think she would not like to make a very short draw. Yeah. Anyway, as we know, they must play 40 moves anyway. So even if they wanted to make a draw, then
it's not easy.
Not easy.
Yeah.
Those of you on Twitter, Twitter is unfortunately banned in China, but you can send maybe a message to me. It's Nigel Short Chess is my name on Twitter. So if you're following the commentary, do let me know how it's going. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you can check the internet.
Yeah, I was on the internet.
Someone just left it.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing happened. Okay.
This maybe will come up in a minute, but I think our connection is a bit bad in here. So let's see, this should come up. 17 notifications,
yeah.
so let me have a look, see that.
So why you can connect yet, but I cannot?
You need to buy a VPN, that's why.
Yeah,
And then we just go around the back.
Okay.
But actually it's very difficult here because many of these VPNs don't work.
Yes.
The normal VPNs, they don't work. The protection is very, very strong in China. So there's like they're fighting all the time. So I got a good one so I can get past it. But I use this all the time, and in fact, FIDE uses this all the time, and we use YouTube. It's a FIDE channel, which is banned. Everything is banned.
Yeah.
It's completely idiotic.
Yes.
These are normal websites.
Yeah. So I haven't I have not maybe Twitter, YouTube. No, I have not.
Yeah. So, now I'll show you the most important thing. Do you want to see my sexy dance moves?
Oh, really? Oh yeah.
Tanya Sachdev.
Okay.
Stuart Conquest, the organizer of the Gibraltar.
Okay. So
second game brought...
everyone, welcome back.
So in the break, we've had a couple of moves,
Yeah.
and interesting development. Bishop e4, which was something which I had suggested. I initially suggested and then wasn't so sure about the move. Knight e5 is Jew's choice. What else? It's the only logical choice.
Yes.
And now, interesting moment, and we've just been discussing it during the break. Bishop g5, and actually neither of us like this move, do we?
Yes.
Neither. We both think this is not a great move. But explain to the audience why you think this is not so great.
Yeah, because the bishop, in the past, the bishop in f6 is useless, but now the knight came to e5 square.
Yeah.
It's an outpost, and then the bishop in f6 maybe can do something.
Well, it can take the knight. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I'm not saying exactly at this moment to take the knight, but at any moment, Black can play bishop takes e5.
Yes.
So the bishop has a function on f6. Before, the bishop was on f6 looking at this sort of pawn wall on d4 and c3.
Yes.
So it didn't have any prospects there. But now, at any moment, maybe now, maybe the next move, maybe the move after, it can play bishop takes e5. And what does she do? She plays instead bishop g5,
Yes.
which is a peculiar move, spending
One
one tempo,
Yes.
one tempo to exchange off the bishop, a white bishop.
although the bishop haven't moved.
Exactly.
Yes.
It hasn't moved at all, the bishop on c1. So this, you know, if I go back to my favorite Paul Morphy,
Yeah.
my great American player, who didn't like to waste time,
Yes.
to me, it just feels completely wrong. You exchange off a bishop, you know, you spend time exchanging off a bishop that hasn't even moved.
Yes.
And actually, you're freeing up the white position here. So I would be looking to evict the bishop on e4
E4.
by playing f3.
Now.
Even now. And you put the question to this bishop, where are you going to go?
F5 or G6?
Yeah, but if you go to, if you go to f5, let's have a look at that.
Okay.
If you go to f5, then you have to consider immediately g4.
Oh. So the pawn push.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now Black must be very careful. Black cannot play bishop g6.
Yes, because of F4.
Show us.
A
So,
stupid move
Yeah.
at F4.
yeah, and
And
the bishop, the other bishop is attacked. The bishop moves somewhere.
Somewhere, and F5.
And f5.
Oh.
And then we have the light squared bishop is trapped,
Yes.
and this is a disaster for Black. So actually, this is suddenly becomes rather dangerous.
Yes.
And if after g4, if bishop takes c1, we can then play. I think
C1?
well, Well, the interesting thing is, I might even take with the queen. I'd like to take with the queen for the black squares.
Okay.
And then
Oh, where should the bishop go?
it's not clear.
Yeah, maybe c8.
Maybe to e6 is the most natural move.
Can I play f4?
You can even think about f4.
Yeah, you think.
Because if f6, knight takes, there are tactics.
Yes.
So if f6, knight takes c6,
Yeah.
which is winning material. Pawn takes and then rook takes bishop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, so
Here.
if we go back a few moves, see, you see suddenly black is driven back. He's
Yes.
forced back. And we mentioned that outpost on e5. And in fact, by exchanging off these bishops, black is making the outpost stronger.
Yeah.
Just making it unchallenged, the knight on this square.
Yes.
So my view is that this is an inaccuracy and even an obvious inaccuracy to play bishop g5. I think it's just the misunderstanding
Yeah, so
of the position. That is my view.
I think maybe Goryachkina is already think about knight bishop g5. This is her plan. But the position is changed. She also do that.
I think this is very often the case that people have, they have analyzed these types of positions,
Yeah.
and bishop g5 is quite a typical plan,
Yes.
actually, in this type of position. But here, it's not appropriate. It's not the right position
Yeah.
for doing this. So she's used a typical plan in an inappropriate
Yes.
position.
The position is changed, so the plan should be changed.
Yeah, yeah, that's quite correct. Yeah. So, after f3, it's possible to retreat to g6.
Yes.
But that is a safer move. But the problem with bishop g6 is that at any moment, white can choose to play knight takes g6. I'm not saying white should do it now.
Yeah.
There's no hurry to play knight takes g6 now.
But every time.
Yeah. Any time that she wants to, and normally she would wait for f6 to be played because that would make some weaknesses.
Yes.
Then knight takes g6, and then the white squares become weak.
Mm-hmm.
So you could even here play just even for an end game with something like bishop takes g5.
And queen takes.
And queen takes and queen c1.
Oh, to just exchange the queen.
Yeah. And
exchange.
Yeah, okay.
Here.
We take back.
And
if
maybe
you
want to play c4 or not?
Well, I think a lot of the time I just want to take control of the. So let's say you go rook e8.
Rook e8.
Let's say
Here.
rook f8. Let's go rook f8.
Okay.
Now maybe rook c to e1.
Okay, take control for the e-file.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's say f6.
f6.
So this is a challenging to the knight. Knight takes.
Maybe takes.
Yeah, rook takes. Yeah,
And takes.
I can even take. Yeah, now I can
And
go in. Now we
go
can go
there.
in. We can go in. Yeah.
Yeah. But can just
Yeah,
save it?
well, I
And
think
want to play-
I'm not so sure. Bishop d3, for example, here.
Okay, can I play knight f8? Or king f8?
Oh, you're just making a draw there. I see. Rook c. Oh, you're very sneaky. You might just be able to get away with that. So let's show people
What?
with the very
Here?
rook c7,
And here?
knight a8, yeah, rook d7,
And
the back, and the rook has got nowhere to go.
yes, just a
Repetition.
repetition, yes.
Okay, and a draw. But it's close. It's really on the edge, this position. So
Yes.
you know, okay, maybe it's not a disaster yet.
Yes, maybe not hurry to
Yeah,
go into the e7.
yeah. But sometimes you can play even for just a and
Oh,
maybe if we go back one move actually instead
One
of
move?
instead of rook c1, rook c to e1.
yes.
Why don't we play a move like h4?
h4.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Okay. So now if f6.
g4? You
No,
like?
no. I just want to.
F6.
I just want to fix a weakness. So here.
Oh, yeah.
So
Capture
takes
it.
yeah, and maybe
And
maybe even king f2. Yeah. And the point is
Yes.
that
Fix,
I'm
fix
fixing
it.
I'm fixing the pawn on g6.
Yes.
And at some point soon, I will play bishop d3,
Yes.
and the bishop will come to d3, and it will attack on the diagonal the pawn on g6,
Yes.
and that will just tie black down. It will keep black under lock and key by doing that. So those are the things which are a bit annoying when you are defending with
Yeah.
black. You know that you're tied
Yes.
to the defending this pawn. I mean, you could play g5, but g5 is another weakness.
Yes.
You know that's
you will have some press.
yeah, yeah. So these are the things that we're looking for. I think it's
Okay.
you know it's a pleasant position for white.
Yes. And Drew, yes, she played f3,
Yeah, and the bishop has gone to
f5.
5. Okay.
So let's see if the g4 will
Yeah,
come in.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Maybe the g4. I'm looking forward to.
I like g4 because it's completely logical. And do you remember a few moves ago
Yeah.
we were talking, and I said, oh, I didn't like this move h3, which Jew had played,
Yeah.
because black got to play bishop f5 on very natural square, very good square,
Yes.
good diagonal.
Yes.
And now we can play g4,
Yeah.
which it is driving the bishop
Yeah.
onto, either it forces it back to g6, where, as we know,
Yeah.
we can take it anytime we want to, you know, or it has to go back on the other diagonal.
Yes. And
Now, here is a question for you. I'm going to ask you. I'll put
Okay.
you on the spot here. Oh, she hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Disappointing. Disappointing. If white would have played g4,
g4.
is that not weakening? Don't they tell you when you were learning the game? Wasn't your coach saying, don't move the pawns in front of your king?
Oh, I know that, but now I can do this because I think the center, yes, maybe close, and there are some pieces is
Around the king.
Around the king.
So you would say that your king is safe enough.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And in fact, black's pieces are not really in any sort of threatening position, dangerous position against the white
Yes,
king.
And you see the knight is in at b6. The queen is there. Is far from my king.
It's miles away, miles and miles away. The knight's on b6.
Yeah.
So it looks like white would be able to make this advance
Yes.
in perfect safety.
Yes.
Yeah. Normally, you should be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, be very, very careful about pushing your pawns in front of your king. But this looks like a good moment to be energetic, forceful, gaining space, with this move. But she hasn't.
What a pity.
Yeah, no, well, that's a disappointment.
And she played just to capture the bishop.
Yeah.
And queen takes it. So, why do that? This move is help black to improve her queen.
Yeah.
And now you see the black square is a little bit weakening.
Yeah, around the white king.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not serious, but you're right. And suddenly, we have to consider also the possibility of bishop takes h3 is there. It's in the air that this move can come.
Yes.
So it's a strange choice to me to play bishop takes g. It's making things too easy.
Yeah.
And also I don't understand. I'm being very critical here because I know it's so much harder when you're sitting down and you're playing, and we all do these things.
Yeah.
You play a completely forcing move, totally forcing move, bishop takes g5. And then you start thinking again.
Yes.
Why do you start thinking again? If you play bishop takes g5, you must have your next move ready.
Yes, you're right.
Otherwise it shows that your thinking is not... she's gone queen c1, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why our screen is not... now we've got it. It's a little bit of a lag. A little bit of... I think queen c1 was the correct decision.
Yeah, so when she played bishop g5, she's already think about queen c1. I think that.
Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is the position is still a little bit better for white, but I think it's less exciting. I would be looking to play f6.
f6?
Yeah, I'd be wanting to get rid of that as soon as possible.
So if white play knight g4,
but you see, I think you can even exchange the knight. I don't think it's such a big deal to.
And we will go into a end game.
Yeah, bishop takes knight and then rook e8.
And the knight beat against the bishop.
Yeah. The pawn structure, the black pawn structure is just a little bit
they
loose.
Are in the same color.
Yeah. It's a little bit loose. I would prefer white, but I think she's not done it in the best way. g4 was very dynamic.
Yeah, I like that move.
Yeah, just energetic, give the question to her. Yeah. When you play bishop takes g5, you're making it very simple.
Yeah.
You play bishop g5 and queen c1, and then you're kind of forcing your opponent to make...
Yes, and g4 will give her more press.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... she played f6
Yeah,
and knight d4.
yeah.
I told you, you are good at it.
Well, okay. F6 is, I think, is natural. But now it's the question, maybe rook e8.
Yes.
It's also possible to play h5. This is another...
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, exchange the bishop.
Yeah, variation. He immediately wanted to play a5, a4, you know, and that's the way he plays. He's a very dynamic, very dynamic player.
Yeah.
He's pushing like that. But you know, what I like about this choice is that the knight on e3 is actually not that well played. You know, in order to get your natural way to play.
Yes, h5. Now I think h5 is better than
Because the other one
e8.
was a little bit weakening. You know, this one is not so weakening.
Because I didn't like the bishop of black.
Yeah, and you just get rid of it, and then you can fix your pawns in a different way.
Yes, if I can exchange it, I will be very happy.
Yeah.
So h5, I think it's good.
I think this is actually, it is the nature of chess at this sort of level. Here you've got two strong grandmasters, you know, and they're playing, and you know, it's like most of their moves are good moves. They are, you know, excellent moves.
Yes.
But then occasionally they're making these imprecisions, you know, sort of not quite accurate moves.
Yeah.
But then you must play very, very accurately in order to exploit that.
Yes.
If then,
But
you know, one side makes an imprecision, and then you make an imprecision, and then you're back to equality again. So you know, and this is why the guys like, you know, Magnus Carlsen are so good. You know, you play, and you know most of your moves are good, and then you make an imprecision, and then he immediately turns the screw on you, and you're suffering, and then you know, and it increases. Whereas here, I think White has given away more or less all her advantage, or most of her advantage, by not being energetic.
She missed the g4.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Yeah. These guys like Garry Kasparov, I mean, he would not miss G4 because, I mean, he was playing those sort of moves actually from a Queen's Gambit, different position, but, you know, there's space gaining moves like that, the dynamic way to play. He wouldn't miss this chance.
Yes, he always played the game very beautiful. Yeah.
Maximum pressure, that's what you're looking for. So, some thought. Let's go back and just see. She's having a thought.
Maybe she think about play bishop d3 direct.
It's possible. I don't like it though. I mean, because rook e7, it's possible. It's possible.
And maybe exchange the bishop and then rook f7?
Yeah, it's probably also good enough. She's gone h5.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, she played very, very well.
Yeah. Well, I think she's recovered from that inaccuracy, you know, I mean...
Yes. So when we play chess, we should be very careful to not allow our opponents even small improvement.
Yes, yes.
So we should play very, very careful. Or
You know what is my prediction? We're heading for another draw today. Probably not 94. How many moves did we play yesterday? 94? Was it something? I don't remember. A lot of moves.
and you can guess a number. How long will they offer draw? 40?
45.
45. Okay. I guess 40.
But you're also predicting a draw. Yeah.
Yes. Because I think the position is equal.
Yeah. I think, you can have positions which are equal but are unbalanced. But this is equal and it's balanced, and there are not many pieces left. That's why I think it has a drawish tendency, strong drawish tendency here.
Yes, there are not too much choice to exchange something.
Yeah.
So maybe the knight will go to f2.
That's possible.
Yeah, go to f2, then can stop the bishop d3.
Yeah, do you know what I don't like about that? I don't like h4.
h4 here
Yeah.
to...
just positionally, I think that's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
It cramps the white pawn structure on the king side.
Yeah, but my knight can come
yeah,
back.
it can come back, but
Yes.
now, but you see, there is a difference.
So
now I go rook e8. That's
rook e8.
yeah.
So this...
I think I put my f rook to I would put my because I want maybe my rook is I'm going to play a5.
Oh yes.
So I think
Yeah. So as this position, white black has gained two steps. Two moves.
yes, yeah. And important moves actually, because it has crippled the white pawn structure on the king side. That is a very, very desirable thing for black to achieve. And incidentally, can you imagine that in some sort of position like that, that the black knight eventually comes to, let's say, f4, for example.
f4.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If we can just highlight the square f4.
Okay.
If the knight comes in there, that's in a very sort of powerful position. I mean, it's a long way from that.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not going to happen.
But it's a plan.
It is a plan, yeah. Because the white pawns are crippled, actually. The flexibility has gone out of the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's see what's happened. She went knight e3.
Yeah, knight e3. And bishop d3. Yes.
I'm very pleased to say that I'm getting some comments from people who are watching the broadcast, and we do have still some little technical issues. I understand, again, the microphones were not switched off during the break, but there are things which are going better. So I'm very glad. Please keep the feedback. Please keep sending messages. We're very, very grateful for that. There are people watching. There's Jimmy Beatty from Maryland, USA, and he's watching it at 3 in the morning.
Yes.
And even though we are extremely brilliant, he's going to go to sleep, and we don't blame you. So hopefully we'll have these things up on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch them after a good night's sleep. So thank you, Jimmy, and everyone else who's been sending messages, letting us know how it's going. So, couple more moves we got.
Okay, rook e1 and exchange the bishop.
Yeah.
Here, as we know. So I think the g6 is logical.
Yeah.
To defend the f square.
The f5 square, yeah.
Yes. And let the knight is not good placed.
Yeah, and actually, if black wants to get really clever, there are some. I mean, there are some possibilities. You can just play king f7, actually.
King f7.
Yeah, and the point is that now I cover that you're threatening 2 squares at once.
Yes.
You're threatening d6 and e7.
Yes.
And just geometrically we can cover both of those squares with the
must be this move.
Correct. Yeah. The only piece that can cover both of those. And with that, actually, with the next move,
yes, right.
But
G6?
black will play g6 to evict the knight from that outpost, and then the knight is actually coming to a more central square and a better square. So it's possible to get clever.
Yeah.
You can defend not. I mean, g6 is a sort of direct, simple way to defend, but you can also defend with some accurate calculation.
Yes. So g6 maybe is Morphy style, but this is not.
Yeah. And there are other possibilities as well, actually. In fact, black has so many to evict this knight with g6 at some moment. And probably this is another way to play, which is absolutely fine for black. Absolutely okay.
Maybe white will just play knight e7 and
well, then
big exchange.
Yeah, big exchange. Yeah, knight e7. I'll play king f7 actually because I'm not even in a hurry to exchange. You see.
But the rook NES.
Yeah, it's going to be a draw.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Perhaps white could play g4 or something now, and I mean, white is not worse actually, but on the other hand, white can hardly claim much of an advantage.
And she played g6.
G6, okay.
She likes morphing.
Yeah, simple chess. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the direct way to play.
Yes, and maybe this move is keep more choice, not like rook 8/8 and rook d8 and exchange too much. So maybe. Yeah,
it's a simpler way to play. The question is, I mean, c4 now. Maybe it's not a great move.
Yeah,
C4 now.
Maybe I will
take
capture.
it. Yeah. Capture.
Take.
B takes c3. Rook d8. Yeah, and now maybe rook e to d1.
Rook e to d1 and.
I think
make a pass pawn.
I think you can double your rooks. Maybe even rook f7, perhaps, or that way. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. You might want to be a little bit careful because perhaps I can play d5 there. I don't know.
d5 and.
You can play rook d8 actually. Rook d8 would be a good move. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because actually I had some little trick there, but if you were not careful, I could play C takes D5. C5 might have been a good response. So these are some. Okay, now we get this endgame, and black is fine. Black is absolutely, you know, without any problems.
Yes, so not afraid about C4.
Yeah. So there are other possibilities. You know, I mean, white could consider, you know, sometimes you can just play H4.
H4?
Yeah, you know, just H4. Maybe sometimes you just want to put the knight on F4 here. You know, that's the, you know, so yeah, so it's white's move. White to play H4. No, H3 to H4, if you understand what I mean.
Oh, so not like this? It's here?
No. Yeah, it's white's move. White's move. So H3 to H4 is a possibility.
Okay.
No, it's black's move. Sorry, G6. Sorry, I'm talking rubbish. G6, now maybe H4.
Yes, H4.
That's possible to try and put the knight on F4, but...
So H4, G3, knight G2, knight
yeah,
F4?
these are little things I'm thinking about. Yeah.
But maybe if you play G3 and knight G2, maybe I will play G5.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow. It's slow. So let's go back. If we go back, let's consider another plan. Another plan, very natural, is to play G4.
Well, G4 now?
Yeah, very natural move.
Okay, so
let's say H takes G4,
yeah.
H takes G4.
And maybe I will play King F7 or just Rook E8 or A5.
Well, you can't play all the moves at once. You can only play one at a time. Which one are you going to choose? So
maybe let me think. Maybe A5.
A5. I'm going to play A4. I'll just stop
A4.
you. I'll stop you dead in your tracks.
And should I move my knight to D6?
Okay, go on, try it.
B5.
Yeah. Now I'll explain why you're not going to. So knight C8 you want?
Yes.
Okay, let me play King F2. She's played G4. She's played G4. Yeah. Okay. So Yeah. Okay. So now King F2.
King F2.
Yeah. Knight D6.
Knight D6.
But now I'll play C4.
C4. Oh.
You see, and then positionally now, it's a good time to play C4 because
the knight is at D6 and my rook cannot.
Correct. And also after D takes C4, B takes C4. Then I have a better pawn structure there. Yeah. And sometimes even Rook B1, sometimes C5, sometimes So you have to be a little bit careful with these advances. A5.
Yeah. So it's not clear. Yes. Maybe have a little problem.
Yeah.
So
there is a nice book. It's a relatively recent book by the American Grandmaster Sam Shankland. I don't know whether you know him, Shankland, and he's talking about pawn structures.
Pawn structures.
And he says, of course, one of the most obvious things that pawns, they don't move backwards. So once you push them forward, you have to be careful that you're not making the weaknesses behind.
Yes.
So how you handle your pawns is something of great care, which is necessary. So maybe I like G4 actually. G4 was a good move.
So here, yeah, maybe I not play a5, just to play king f7.
Yeah, I think I
Maybe
think
this move is more safe.
yeah, yeah. I'll play king f2. I'll just
King
play
f2.
yeah.
And I play here or here, h2, h8 or e8.
It's up to you. What do you want?
I don't know. I just want to exchange rook. But
Yeah, but you know, you can play rook h8. I'll play rook h1.
yes.
And just maybe I've got a little bit more space.
Yeah, because the g4.
Yeah, because I got in g4. That's right. So it's probably just a fraction better for white. The position ever so slightly more comfortable
Yes.
for white. And still, you know, we've had this game so far, and for most of this time, the knight on b6 has not been very well placed. So if we remember, that is in fact the king's knight. So that is the knight that has gone from g8 to f6 to e4 to d6 to c4 to b6, where it is not very well placed.
Yeah.
You know, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves with the knight, and still it's not on a good position.
Yes.
So
What a poor knight. Oh,
king
she played king
f7. Yeah, I think we're going to get this. I think she'll play king f2.
Yeah, king f2. So, because of the knight at b6 is not good, so I want to play a5. But maybe it's,
Then a4. That's I'll
Yes.
definitely play
so,
a4.
so maybe it's not worked.
Yeah, maybe this g6 was just, to come back to Sam Shankland, a little bit weakening, just a little bit weakening, because, you know, there is another thing now when the pawn is on g6, that if white gets a rook on the h-file, rook h7 will be a threat.
Yes.
So, you know, once, if I play king f2 and rook h1, you are going to have to stop my rook coming
yes.
in. So rook h8, and then it looks as if I can advance a little bit, and so, you know,
So
I think Zhu is going to be the happier of the two players in this
Okay.
position. It's not a serious advantage yet.
let
yet.
me try to exchange the two rook. Maybe
There is
king f2, rook h8, rook h1, and I will play king g7. Just want to exchange the two rook.
Yeah,
What will happen?
Yeah, that's not a bad. It's not a bad idea.
But when I exchange, my king will go to h8. It's too
Yeah,
far.
it's far, you know, and
Yes.
I can play f4, f5 at some moment that, you know, maybe I can gain even more space.
Yes. So
I've got
maybe
another idea. If we just go back,
Okay.
at this moment, it might be better, more positional, to play king e2.
King e2.
If we just, go back to the position that's
Here.
this
King
might,
e2.
yeah,
Okay, and put the king to d3.
Yeah, this may be more positional,
Yes.
because this is in fact a better square for the king.
And then maybe
And,
we'll c4.
and then I'm thinking about c4, because the
yeah.
king is supporting the d pawn.
Yes. Yeah, so seems like more positional, this move.
Yeah, I think this is a better one. So king f2, king e2, these are the choices.
Okay. So now I think the game will not finish to
Move 40.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe it more have more moves to
Yeah.
go.
So
That-
they can only draw, I think, after black's 40th move. That's the earliest. It's possible to have a repetition, threefold repetition. It's possible to, of course, to have a perpetual check.
Yes.
You are very, very unlikely to get a stalemate in 40 moves.
Yes.
Highly improbable. But perpetual check or repetition, could happen.
Yes.
So still there is some fight here in
Yeah.
this
I
at this moment.
I think there are something.
Yeah.
Maybe king e2, king d3, and push c4,
Yeah.
something like that. So the not clear draw.
No.
Yes. And the time is closed. 38, 37. Yeah.
So just, white has more options in this position. I think, white's play is a little bit easier. And I'll tell you what I like about putting the king on d3.
Mm-hmm.
Once the king is on d3,
Yes.
then the move a4 comes into play. So if we can just show with the arrows maybe, the king coming to
d3.
d3, and then we want
a4.
a4.
Then
and
maybe I will play a5.
Yeah, but once you go a5, you must always be watching out for c4.
C4.
Yeah, not immediately, but strategically. If I get to play c4,
Yes.
then I will gain an advantage. So your knight is a bit uncomfortable.
Yes, and if black play a4, the b7 pawn is be weakened. So c4 and want to open the b line.
Correct.
B file.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if white play c4, you capture me and the b takes c4, then I open the b file. If you not capture me, I will play like c5,
Yeah.
c5, and maybe like bishop b1 and b4.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if white gets in the move c4, followed by c5, that starts to become a serious space advantage on the queen side. In fact, I've had games, a number of games in my chess career,
Yeah.
where in this type of position, this type of structure, and you get in c4, c5, very often the end game actually
Yeah.
becomes really, really unpleasant for black.
Yes.
Because white's play is automatic. It goes b4, a4, b5,
Yeah.
and then suddenly putting pressure on the black
Yes.
position. So
Oh, she played. So
what did she do? King f2, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
king
Yeah. Okay.
f2.
First choice.
I think your move is better.
Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere. That's And again, I think we have these issues. White can play. White really wants this knight on, maybe on d3.
D3.
Yeah, I don't know. But on the other hand, black is only 2 squares away from d6. So that.
Yeah. So should I move my knight?
Yeah, it's not clear, because if you move the knight, then you always have to watch out for the c4.
C4.
You know, so that is a little question.
Yeah.
You know, do you play knights?
But if I
Yeah.
the knight is not good.
Yeah, and so if you go like knight c8 immediately, yeah, then
C4.
c4.
It seems not good.
Yeah, because actually you have misplaced your you by putting the knight on c8. You are destroying the coordination, but you've cut the coordination between the rooks.
Yes.
They're no longer protecting each other.
Yeah.
So you've temporarily put your knight back, and now after d takes c4, I can even, because of the tactics of this position, I can even think about playing knight takes c4.
Oh, knight take. Rook h1. And I will play this move.
Yeah, but now
And you can
now you have to be careful. Maybe rook c to e1.
here.
Yeah.
If I take the pawn,
If you take
go
the
to
pawn, rook e8. Yeah.
Oh, can I? Oh, yes.
You see, just for so let's make the move on the
Okay.
the analysis board.
So I cannot play knight b6
6
because of rook e7
check. Yeah.
Yes.
So even though it's an end game,
Yeah.
we have tactics, we
Yes.
have dynamism. Actually, white is now threatening rook h8. Actually, either rook to h8, even rook e to h8, threatening
Yeah.
threatening mate.
Yes.
So,
Ooh.
but you're threatening to double, and suddenly, as I say, this, you know, this loss of coordination when you play knight c8, it can be very, very serious.
Yes. And Goryachkina played
Rook h8
rook h8.
and rook h1.
Yes. As we said.
Yeah, that was our first idea.
Okay, and rook a to e8.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not a bad way to play. And it's actually not that easy for
Black.
white now has, I mean, black has arranged her pieces quite well. So
Yeah.
she's arranged her rooks
Okay.
in quite a good fashion. So the rook on h8 on the open file, actually neither side is in a hurry to exchange, because if white exchanges on h8, black takes the h file.
Yes.
And if black takes, white takes the h file.
Yeah.
So neither side wants to
Exchange hurry.
yeah. They don't want to concede that control on the h file. But there are limited options. Now we have discussed. We're coming back to the same idea, that c4 is a typical move that we want to make. But black is well positioned, I think, for c4. So if c4 now, I think black can just take on c4.
Okay, and take
B takes c and rook d8.
rook d8.
Rook to d8.
Ah, yeah.
I'm just putting pressure on the position. So
maybe this moment is not good at play c4.
yeah, I'm not so sure.
Because the d file is open.
Now I'm not completely sure. Maybe rook takes h8 now. Tactics. And then
d5?
rook b1.
Okay. And just save the pawn.
Yeah, but that's so passive. Yeah. c5.
Oh, maybe can I check? But you will play knight d2.
No, I wanted to play king g3. Happy are you? Come on, admit it. Admit it. You're not happy here.
Yes.
So.
Okay, seems not good.
Yeah, it's unpleasant. Yeah, I mean, we can discuss how unpleasant it is, but you're very, very passive, and I have an initiative. I've got rook on an open file. I'm pressing against b7. I want to play a5. If I get a5 in, I'm
a5, c6,
and then
like that.
Yeah. So okay. So we've got another move here, which so she didn't do this. She played knight g2, which is actually a move I mentioned. I mean, the plan of putting the knight on f4, on f4.
Sorry. F4.
Yeah. Perhaps not. I actually preferred a4.
Yes.
Yeah, because a4 was taking more space.
Yeah, a4.
Because it's not clear to me that the knight is that great on f4. It's better than it is on e3, but not that much. But a4, I like to take space because, even a simple knight endgame, or even sometimes just a rook and pawn endgame, when you've got the space, then you have some chances to win because you've got space. Your pawns are closer to queening.
Yeah.
And the opponent has less room to maneuver.
Yeah.
So remember that, everyone. Space, the final frontier.
And I remember I saw in some books said that if the position is stuck and you have no move or no plan, maybe you can push your pawn like a pawn or h pawn. You can try it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can have some surprise.
Yeah.
For that. Okay. Black played knight c8.
I think it's...
And so you want to move your knight to f4, and I move my knight to d6.
Yeah. And then it's... Yeah, you can play knight f4, knight d6, and then a4 to take away the squares, but it's not a big deal, is it?
Yes. So
no, I think knight g2 is too slow, actually.
Yes. So rook meet rook, knight meet knight.
That's it. Yeah. That's very well put. So, yeah, I think she's played knight f4, but I think she's let it go.
Always play too slow.
A little bit too slow, I think.
For example, h3 or knight g2, yes.
Yeah. I think that's probably a fair assessment, and maybe she's not found her maybe she's not found her feet yet in the match. Look, let's not get too concerned, because let's suppose that she has let her advantage go and today's game is drawn.
Yes.
What's the score? 1-1.
Yeah.
Everything even. So actually, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Yes.
But there is some sort of, well, this is strange. I think she has to, doesn't she have to watch out for some knight b5, or not yet? a5 maybe.
A5?
Yeah, I think I like a5 there.
I think she maybe will play A4. And it looks...
Yeah, but then even black can consider to play b5. You know, sometimes.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you know, that's...
Oh, black will play like B6 and C5.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And there is another good move here, because I think it's too slow. It's, you know, it's too slow, the whole thing. Because another way to play is just simply to take some space on the king side to play g5.
Okay.
You take away the f4 square for the knight. And you also give yourself the g6 square for the king, not immediately, there's not relevant immediately, but maybe later could be relevant.
Yes.